Caught my wife screaming another man's name while he rode her in my garage. So, I knocked him out cold, set his car on fire, and made her watch as I burned every memory we had. I'm writing this while the smell of burning Audi is still wafting through my garage. My knuckles are bruised, there's blood on my breaker bar, and my cheating wife just left in an Uber with a garbage bag full of clothes. Best Friday night I've had in years. For context, I'm 32, been married to Sabine for 8 years. I work as an automotive tech at a Mercedes dealership here in Munich. Bought my house in the suburbs back in 2018 before we even met. This is important because the house is mine, not ours. She moved into my place after we got married. Tonight was supposed to be my regular stompish with the boys. We meet every Friday at this local beer garden. Been doing it since our apprenticeship days, but Klaus got food poisoning from some sketchy donor at lunch, so we called it early. I was home by 9:30 instead of midnight. I pull into my driveway and notice a white Audi RS5 parked in my spot. Didn't recognize it, but whatever. Figured maybe Spine had a friend over. Then I heard it. Even through the closed garage door, I could hear moaning and thumping. My first thought wasn't even anger. It was confusion. What the F was she doing in the garage? We have a perfectly good bedroom. HL. We have 3 bedrooms. I walked around to the side door, the one that leads directly into my workshop. I built that workshop myself. Every tool placement, every organization system, everything exactly how I want it. It's my sanctuary. Has my late father's vintage Hayes tool collection. The workbench I welded together myself. Everything. The door was unlocked. I opened it quiet as HL mechanics' hands know how to work silently. What I saw made everything go red. My wife was bent over my workbench. Sauce up, getting absolutely demolished by some roided out gym bro. She was screaming, "Jaw, Matthias." While this mother effer had his hands all over her, using my workbench for leverage. My father's tool chest was knocked over. My torque wrenches were scattered on the floor. There was an effing protein shaker on my vise. I didn't say anything. Didn't announce myself. I just reached for the nearest tool, a 24 inches breaker bar, and swung it like Barry Bonds. Caught him right in the temple. He dropped like a sack of cement. DK still out twitching on my garage floor. Sabine screamed. Started babbling in that high-pitched panic voice. Wolfgang. Oh, main god. It's not what it looks like. Shut your mouth, I told her. My voice was calm. Dead calm. The kind of calm that made her stop mid-sentence. I grabbed Matthias by his ankles and dragged his unconscious sauce out of my garage. Boy was heavier than he looked. All that gym muscle, I guess. Left a nice blood trail across my epoxy floor. Dumped him right next to his pretty white Audi. Sabine followed, still half NKD, crying and pleading. Please, shots. Let me explain. Get dressed, I said. Then get in the house. We're not done. While she scrambled for her clothes, I went to my garage cabinet. Behind the oil filters, I keep an emergency canister of petrol. Always prepared. That's the German way, right? I doused that Audi good. Made sure to get the interior through the cracked window, the leather seats, the dashboard, everything. Matthias was starting to stir, groaning on the pavement. Wolfgang 9. Sabine screamed when she saw the petrol can. I pulled out a flare from my motorcycle emergency kit, lit it, and tossed it through the window. Whoosh. The Audi went up like a Viking funeral. Flames shooting 15 feet high, black smoke billowing into the night sky. Beautiful. Matthias came to just in time to see his baby burning. Started screaming in that entitled Hamburg accent of his. Main auto. You psycho. I'll KL you. Try it. I said, holding the breaker bar. Please give me a reason. He looked at the bar, looked at the blood running down his face, looked at his burning car, and made the smart choice. Stumbled to the sidewalk and pulled out his phone, probably calling Daddy's lawyer inside. Now, I told Sabine. She followed me in, sobbing the whole way. Mascara everywhere, snot running down her face. I went straight to our living room. Started pulling down photos, our wedding, vacations, anniversaries, 8 years of memories. Dumped them all in the fireplace. Wolfgang, please don't do this. It was a mistake. How long? I asked, dropping our wedding album on the pile. What? How long? She collapsed on the couch. 3 months. I laughed. Actually laughed because I'd suspected for 3 months. The gym membership. She suddenly needed the new lingerie. I never saw the girls' nights that required fresh Brazilian waxes. Here's the thing, I said, lighting the fire. I already knew. That's why I've had these ready. I pulled out the divorce papers from my desk drawer. Had them drawn up 2 weeks ago when I found the CNDM wrapper in her purse. We don't use CNDMS. Her face went white. You knew? I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. Waiting for proof. Thanks for delivering it. Gift trapped on my workbench. The photos were burning nicely now. Our faces melting in the flames. Symbolic as F, get out, I said. Take whatever you can carry and get out of my house. But it's late. Where will I go? Not my problem. Call your sister. Call Matthias. Oh, wait. He's probably busy with the foyer right now. She tried one more manipulation. I'll kill myself. I'll do it. I handed her my phone. Here, call 112. They'll take you for a 72-hour hold. Meals included. That broke her. She ran upstairs, came back with a garbage bag of clothes, and called an Uber. While we waited, I made myself crystal clear. You have 48 hours to get your SHT. Anything left becomes kindling. Don't come without a police escort. Don't contact me except through lawyers. And if you or your gym boyfriend come near my property again, that breaker bar to the head will seem like a Swedish massage for stand-in. She nodded, still ugly, crying. The Uber pulled up just as the foyer arrived for the car fire. Perfect timing. She's gone. Matthias presumably crawled home to Hamburg. His Audi is a charred skeleton in my driveway. My garage needs disinfecting. My father's tools need reorganizing. But I'm sitting here with a cold Augustine watching the firefighters work. Feeling absolutely fantastic. 8 years of marriage torched just like that Audi. The best part, that wasn't even the nuclear part. Wait until she finds out what happens Monday morning. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. Update 1. Saturday morning. Holy SHT. What a night. Woke up to 47 missed calls, 182 WhatsApp messages, and my doorbell camera footage looking like a Hollywood highlight reel. Let me catch you up first. The aftermath photos. The Audi is gone. Just a blackened spot on my driveway and some melted rubber. Firefighters said it was a total loss. Apparently, when you torch a car with a full tank, it burns good. They asked how it started. I just shrugged and said, I saw some kids running away. They didn't push it. German efficiency includes not giving AF when no one's hurt. My phone started blowing up around 6 a.m. messages from Sabine, her sister Petra, her parents, mutual friends, even her hairdresser. Somehow I screenshotted everything before blocking my favorites. From Sabine, please Wolfgang, I love you. It meant nothing. He forced me. From Petra, you psychopath, she's having a breakdown from her mother. What kind of man throws his wife on the street? From Matthias, you're dead. My father's lawyers will destroy you. That last one made me laugh. His daddy's lawyers versus video evidence of him balls deep in my wife. Good luck with that, hamburger, young. Around 8 a.m., my doorbell cam caught Sabine pulling up with Petra. They sat in the car for 20 minutes. Sabine obviously trying to work up courage to come to the door. Finally, Petra marched up and rang the bell. I answered in boxers and nothing else. Morning workout pump looking good. We're here for Sabine's things, Petra said, trying to sound tough. Police escort? I asked. She doesn't need then. She doesn't need her things. I'll feed her. Zane started closing the door. Petra stuck her foot in it. Big mistake. Move your foot or lose it, I said, voice flat. She saw something in my eyes and yanked that foot back quick. You can't just keep her belongings. That's theft. Actually, according to paragraph 985 of the BGB, I can restrict access to my property. She can arrange police accompaniment for retrieval. Until then, Shush slammed the door. They sat outside for another hour before leaving. But here's where it gets good. Remember I mentioned Monday would be nuclear. Well, Sabine worked at a family bakery in Schwabing. Real traditional place. Been there 3 generations. The owner, Fraula, is old-school Bavarian Catholic. No tolerance for scandal. Guess who already received an anonymous email with security footage of Sabine getting railed in my garage? Complete with her screaming another man's name while desecrating the sanctity of marriage. My brother Tobias came by around noon with more beer and updates from social media. Apparently, Sabine posted some sob story on Facebook about being in an abusive relationship and fearing for her life. The comments were pure gold. Didn't you just post last week about your amazing husband? Girl. Everyone knows you've been effing that trainer. Team Wolfgang. Then someone definitely not me on a fake account posted the security footage in the comments. Her post got deleted within minutes, but screenshots live forever. Matthias also made a post showing his head wound in the destroyed Audi. Called me a jealous psycho who can't satisfy his woman. Brother, you were satisfying her on my workbench. The only thing I'm jealous of is that you got to bleed on my garage floor and I didn't get to make it happen twice. His post backfired spectacularly when someone tagged his girlfriend. Oh yeah, did I mention Matthias has a girlfriend? Had Lisa from Starburg. Daddy's a banker, drives a white Mercedes. Well, drove. She commented, this is why you couldn't come to my father's birthday. You were effing some married bakery worker. The drama in those comments was chef's kiss. Lisa went nuclear herself, posting screenshots of their texts, his lies, everything. Turns out he's been cheating on her for months with multiple women. Sabine was just another piece of sauce to him. Around 3:00 p.m. my lawyer Stefan called. He'd reviewed the security footage and my documentation. Wolfgang. I've seen a lot of divorce cases. This is the cleanest slam dunk I've ever had. She's effed. Properly effed. The infidelity, the breach of trust, it's all here. What about the car? What car? I didn't see any car. I saw a man defending his home from an intruder who was sexually assaulting his wife. I love German lawyers. Now, he continued, she'll try to claim marital property rights, but since you own the house before marriage and have a clear paper trail, she gets nothing. The prenup you signed makes this even cleaner. Ah, yes, the prenup. Sabine fought it hard when we got engaged. Said it meant I didn't trust her. I held firm. No prenup, no wedding. She eventually signed. Thank God for past me. What about her belongings? I asked. Give her reasonable access with police escort. Document everything she takes. Be cooperative but not accommodating. By evening, the story had spread through our social circle. My phone was blowing up with support. The boys from work were offering to help renovate my garage. My neighbor, an 80-year-old Bavarian woman who's seen some SHT, brought me apple strudel and said, good for you, bub. In my day, we used cast iron pans. But the best message came from an unknown number. Hi, this is Lisa, Matthias's ex. I just wanted to say thank you for exposing that piece of SHT. Also, if you need any witnesses for court, I have lots of evidence about his character. P.S. Sorry about your garage. I'm saving that number. It's now Saturday evening. I've deep cleaned my garage with industrial degreaser. Reorganized my father's tools. Installed new locks on every door. Changed the garage door code. Set up additional security cameras with motion alerts. Sabine keeps trying to call from different numbers. Each voicemail more pathetic than the last. The latest one she's sobbing about how she has nowhere to go. Petra kicked her out for bringing shame to the family and she's sleeping in her car. Good. Maybe she can F Matthias in the back seat instead of on my workbench. Tomorrow I'm having the boys over for beer and bratwurst. Monday, she finds out about her job. Tuesday, we serve papers at the courthouse. Life's good when you have balls and use them. More updates coming. Update 2. Monday afternoon. Alright, you beautiful tarts. Grab your popcorn. Monday delivered better than a German train schedule. Started my morning at 5 a.m. with a workout. Can't let personal drama affect the gains. By 6:30, I'm at work, coffee in hand, feeling like a king. My supervisor pulled me aside. Wolfgang, heard you had some trouble at home. Handled it, I said. He grinned. So we heard that Audi looked expensive. No idea what you mean, boss. Of course not. By the way, take the afternoon off if you need it. Personal time. Germans. We don't talk about emotions, but we understand revenge. At 11:47 a.m., I got the text I've been waiting for from my anonymous source at the bakery. It's happening. See, Farmola, the bakery owner, is 67 years old, married 45 years, and believes marriage is sacred. She also supplies the Erzbeast of München with communion wafers. Can't have scandal touching the contract. I took my lunch break and positioned myself at the cafe across from the bakery. Perfect view through the windows. 12:15 p.m. Sabine shows up for her shift, looking rough, hair unwashed, same clothes as Saturday, moving like a zombie. 12:18 p.m. Fraula calls her into the back office. 12:27 p.m. Raised voices. Can't hear words, but the tone is clear. 12:31 p.m. Sabine explodes out of the office, screaming, throws her apron on the floor, customers backing away. 12:33 p.m. She grabs a tray of fresh brace and launches them at the window. Pretzels everywhere. 12:34 p.m. Frey Muller's son, built like a brick SH house, escorts her out physically. 12:36 p.m. Sabine stands on the sidewalk ugly crying and screaming, I gave you 3 years. 3 years. 12:38 p.m. Polizei arrive. Someone called about the disturbance. 12:45 p.m. Sabine gets a warning and stumbles off toward the U-Bahn. I finished my coffee and went back to work. Productive afternoon. But wait, it gets better. Remember Matthias, Hamburg boy with the torch Audi? Well, his daddy is some big-shot shipping executive. Old money, connections, the works. Matthias has been posting threats all weekend about lawsuits and criminal charges. At 3:00 p.m. my lawyer Stefan calls Wolfgang. I just got off the phone with the vault shaft. They're not pressing charges. Why not? Because I sent them the full security footage. All 40 minutes of it. 40 minutes. Oh, did I not mention your camera caught them arriving? Shows them breaking into your garage. The door was locked. Wolfgang. She used her key, but he forced it open wider. That's breaking and entering. Then there's the sexual acts in your private workspace. The damage to your property. The theft. Theft? Your missing socket set? The one you reported yesterday? clearly visible in his gym bag in the footage. I love this man. Furthermore, Stefan continued, Matthias is now facing charges for threatening violence via electronic communication. Those texts about Klingu, not smart. His father's lawyer called me begging to make a deal. What kind of deal? Drop the charges. They pay for your garage renovation and emotional damages. I quoted 25,000 euros. Tell them 50,000 euros or we go to court. I love when clients have spine. I'll call now by 5 p.m. I had confirmation 50,000 euro settlement arriving within 10 business days. Matthias also has to sign an agreement to never contact me or come within 500 meters of my property, but the Monday finale was still coming. At 6 p.m., Sabine showed up with a police escort to get her things. 2 officers, probably expecting drama. I disappointed them, opened the door politely, offered them coffee, acted like a complete gentleman. She has 1 hour, I told them. I packed her belongings in boxes. She can verify everything is there. Led them to the garage where I neatly packed her SHT. Everything labeled, organized, even bubble-wrapped the fragile stuff. The officers were impressed. Sabine looked at the boxes, then at my clean garage, then at me. Where's my jewelry? In box 3, clearly labeled with photos of each piece for documentation. My grandmother's ring. The one you wore while effing another man. Box 3. The female officer snorted, covered it with a cough. Sabine tried another angle. What about our photos? Our memories burned. Friday night, you were there. That's destruction of property. The male officer stepped in. Ma'am, personal photos from a marriage aren't legally protected property. Please collect your boxes so we can leave. She broke down again. Full theatrical performance. Fell to her knees, wailing about lost love and second chances. The officers looked uncomfortable. I stayed stone-faced. Wolfgang, please. I'll do anything. Therapy, counseling, whatever you want. I want you out of my garage. It's been contaminated enough. She switched to anger. You'll regret this. You'll die alone. No woman will want a controlling psycho like you. Ma'am, the female officer said, you need to load your boxes now or we leave without them. Defeated, Sabine started loading boxes into Petra's car. Each trip, she tried new manipulation. Tears, anger, seduction actually tried to bend over provocatively while picking up a box. Officers and I collectively cringed. Finally, last box loaded. She turned for one final attempt. I loved you, Wolfgang. No, I said you loved my house, my stability, my bank account. You effed Matthias. There's a difference. She lunged at me. Officers grabbed her instantly. That's assault. The male officer said, we can arrest you right now. I waved it off. She's leaving. That's enough. They drove away. I closed my garage and cracked open a beer. But here's the kicker. Found out through the grapevine that Matthias's girlfriend, Lisa, didn't just dump him. She apparently went to his apartment while he was at the hospital Friday night, took everything valuable that was hers, and left a printed screenshot of Sabine riding him on his bed. Then she effed his best friend and sent him the video. German women don't play. It's now Monday night. I'm 50,000 euros richer, pending, wife-free, and sitting in my clean garage rebuilding my father's tool organization. Tomorrow the divorce papers get filed officially. Sabine texted from a new number an hour ago, sleeping in my car. Happy? I responded with a photo of my dinner. Steak, beer, peace, and quiet. Then block that number too. Life update. Fantastic. Update 3. Thursday. The gift that keeps giving. Boys, you're not going to believe this week. It's like Christmas came early and Santa drives a karma bus. Tuesday morning, Stefan and I met at the courthouse to file divorce papers. Clean, simple, brutal. With the prenup and evidence, it's basically a formality. German efficiency at its finest. Judge looked at the paperwork, watched about 30 seconds of the garage footage before stopping it, and scheduled the final hearing for next month. Herr Wolfgang, the judge said, this is one of the clearest cases I've seen. Barring any unexpected complications, this should be finalized quickly. But here's where Tuesday got interesting. As we're leaving the courthouse, who do we run into? Matthias and his father's legal team. Dude's face looking like a purple eggplant. Stitches across his temple. His lawyer tried to approach Stefan. Big mistake. Stefan's 6 feet 3 inches in. Former amateur boxer looks like he eats smaller lawyers for breakfast. My client is willing to negotiate. The lawyer started. Your client signed the agreement. 50,000 euros, 10 business days. Negotiations over, Stefan said. Matthias couldn't help himself. You ruined my life. I laughed. Actually, Belly laughed right there in the courthouse lobby. I ruined your life. You were balls deep in my wife on my workbench. Security started moving our way. Matthias's father, this distinguished-looking older gentleman, grabbed his son's arm. Matthias, halt die Kloppe. But baby boy wasn't done. She came on to me. Said you couldn't satisfy. His father literally slapped him right there in public. Slapped his adult son like a misbehaving child. Enough. You've embarrassed this family enough. The lawyers hustled them out while I stood there grinning. Stefan shook his head. That family's imploding. The son's been cut off from the trust fund. Wednesday was quiet. Too quiet. I should have known Sabine was planning something. Then Thursday, today happened. Started with a call from my bank at 8 a.m. Someone tried to access my account online. Multiple failed attempts. They locked it down, but the attempts came from an IP address registered to an internet cafe in New Pearl. Guess who's living in HDWG in New Pearl? Then at lunch, my brother Tobias texts me, check Facebook now. Sabine had created a post in one of those Munich women's support groups. My abusive ex-husband destroyed my life. Full victim narrative. Claimed I was controlling, violent, financially abusive. Said I isolated her from friends, forced her into a prenup, and then set her up with Matthias to get a divorce. The comments started supportive. Then someone asked for details. Sabine made her fatal mistake. She got specific. Claimed, I attacked Matthias unprovoked and burned his car in a jealous rage. Problem. One of the group members is married to a firefighter who responded to a certain car fire last Friday. The firefighter's wife commented, wait, was this the Audi burning in Bogenhausen? My husband said the owner was having sex with someone's wife and got caught. The tide turned instantly. Women started picking apart her story. Someone found the security footage that had been circulating. Another person recognized her from the bakery meltdown. Within an hour, she was getting roasted harder than that. Audi best comment. So, you cheated, got caught, lost your home, job, and husband, and somehow you're the victim. Man, please. But it gets better. Around 3:00 p.m., I get a call from an unknown number. Usually don't answer, but something told me to pick up. Is this Wolfgang? Who's asking? My name is Claudia. I think I need to tell you something about your wife. Ex-wife, whatever. Turns out Claudia works at the gym where Matthias trains. And Sabine wasn't his only married client. This dude had a whole system targeted married women, especially ones with money or nice homes. Sabine was just another mark. He keeps videos, Claudia said, on his phone. Shows them off to the other trainers. Your wife, there are multiple videos, different days. Some in your garage, some in his car. Why are you telling me this? Because he filmed me, too. Without consent. I'm pressing charges and thought you should know in case. In case you need evidence for your divorce. Holy effing SHT. I thanked her, got her lawyer's contact, and immediately called Stefan. He practically squealed with delight. Wolfgang. This is beautiful. If those videos exist and were taken without consent, that's a serious crime. And if he shared them, even better. Your soon-to-be ex-wife isn't just a cheater. She's a victim of a sexual predator who she chose to sleep with repeatedly. How does that help me? Because it destroys any claim she might have for emotional damages or marital misconduct on your part. You can't claim your husband drove you to cheat when you were being systematically targeted by a predator. By 5 p.m., the news had reached Sabine. How do I know? Because she called from her sister Petra's phone. Hysterical. There are videos. Apparently. Oh God, Wolfgang, you have to help me if those get out. Not my problem. Please, I'll sign whatever you want. I'll give up everything. Just help me stop those videos. You already have nothing to give up. And Sabine, you made those videos on my workbench in my garage. The same garage you contaminated. Karma's a BCH. She started sobbing. How can you be so cruel? Cruel? I'm not the one who have to gym trainer in my spouse's sanctuary. I'm not the one who destroyed an 8-year marriage for some Hamburg DK. You want to see cruel? Wait until those videos surface in the divorce proceedings. You wouldn't try me. Hung up. Blocked Petra's number too. It's now Thursday evening. The 50,000 transfer is processing. My garage is cleaner than a surgical suite. I've got a date Saturday with Lisa. Yes, Matthias's ex. We bonded over our mutual experience. Sumi Sebines lost her job, her home, her reputation, and now might be facing the humiliation of SX video surfacing. Matthias lost his girlfriend, his car, his daddy's money, and is facing criminal charges. Me? I'm sitting here with a cold beer in my house, planning what to do with my garage renovation money. Tomorrow, Stefan's filing additional paperwork based on today's revelations. The divorce should be final within weeks instead of months to everyone saying I went too far. Nah, I went exactly far enough. You don't SHT where someone else eats and expect no consequences. Next update after the final divorce hearing. It's going to be glorious. Final update 1 month later. Alright, here's the conclusion you've been waiting for. Grab a beer and settle in. The divorce hearing was last Tuesday. I showed up in my best suit, fresh haircut, looking like €1,000,000. Stefan beside me with a briefcase full of evidence we didn't even need. Sabine showed up looking like she'd aged 10 years in a month. Bargain bin lawyer beside her literally looked like he got his degree from a YouTube tutorial. She kept trying to make eye contact. I studied the ceiling tiles. The judge opened with, "I've reviewed the case files. This seems straightforward. Freyaben, do you contest the terms?" Her lawyer started some speech about emotional distress and marital assets. The judge cut him off by playing 5 seconds of the garage footage. "Counselor, your client was caught committing adultery on video. Do you really want to proceed?" "Even better, remember those videos Matthias took? They found them during the criminal investigation." Sabine was identified in several clearly enthusiastic participant. Her lawyer physically deflated. The best part was when they discussed asset division for the prenup and evidence. House mine, cars mine, tools mine, and professionally disinfected. Joint savings mine. She drained 8K, has to pay it back. Her debt from the last 3 months, hers. She tried one last manipulation in court. "Your Honor, I have nowhere to live." Judge, that's a consequence of your choices, not the responsibility of this court. Divorce finalized. 8 years of marriage ended in 22 minutes. But wait, there's the epilogue. Matthias currently facing 6 criminal charges, including invasion of privacy and distribution of intimate images. Daddy cut him off completely. Last I heard, he's working at a budget gym in Hamburg, living in a studio apartment. His Instagram went from luxury cars and protein sponsorships to motivational quotes about rising from ashes. The ashes of his Audi presumably. Sabine, living with a cousin in Rosenheim, working at a gas station, tried starting a GoFundMe claiming she was a victim of narcissistic abuse, raised €47, mostly from her mother. Her social media is now private after the video scandal went samiplik. Heard through the grapevine she's dating some 50-year-old divorced guy with 3 kids. Good luck with that. Lisa, Matthias's ex, we dated for a few weeks. Turns out trauma bonding isn't the best foundation for a relationship, but the ex was incredible. Arteta's friends. She's now engaged to some banker her dad introduced her to. Sent me a thank you card last week. Me promoted to senior technician last month. Used the 50K to completely renovate my garage, new workbench. The old one had to go for obvious reasons. Complete tool upgrade and a classic BMW R75/5 motorcycle I'm restoring. Started dating Elena. A chemical engineer from my gym. Told her the whole story on our 3rd date. Her response, only a breaker bar. I would have used a torque wrench, better grip. She's a keeper. The boys threw me a divorce party at our Stomish. Framed photo of the burnout now hangs in the bar. I'm a local legend. Lessons learned. Trust your gut. I knew something was off for months. Document everything. That security footage was gold. Don't bluff when you say there will be consequences. Deliver. German prenups are beautiful things. Never ever disrespect a man's garage. Last week, I got one final text from a number I didn't recognize. "I'm sorry. You deserved better. S." I didn't respond. Just screenshotted it for the memories and went back to rebuilding my father's vintage BMW. Living my best life at 32. House to myself. Garage of my dreams. Good woman who respects boundaries and the satisfaction of knowing I handled my business like a man. To everyone who called me toxic or abusive, I didn't chase her down, didn't stalk, harass, or continue punishing her. I just refused to be a doormat. There's a difference between being cruel and having self-respect. And to any married folks reading this, if your partner suddenly needs a gym membership, starts working late, or guards their phone like nuclear codes, don't wait for them to have someone on your workbench. Handle that SHT early. Wolfgang out. P.S. The garage still smells faintly of burnouty when it rains. I consider it aromatherapy. Edit, since everyone's asking. Yes, I kept the bloody breaker bar. It's mounted on my garage wall with a little plaque. Matthias Memorial Tool Friday Night Special. Elena added googly eyes to it. Makes me laugh every damn day. Edit 2 to the guy who didn't asking for Seabine's number. Bro, did you not read the post? That's a dumpster fire you don't want to dive into. Have some standards. Edit 3. Final count. 1 marriage ended. 1 Audi destroyed. 1 Hamburg F-boy's life ruined. 1 garage renovated. 1 promotion earned. 1 better woman found. Worth it. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.